my buddy Mitchell formed this company. Um, he's wondering, what was his next thing to do. And I got to tell you something, I think he hit it out of the park. Guys, if you don't know me, I came from, I've been done a lot in my life. I'm 65, a serial entrepreneur. I've exited 4 companies, um, was deeply involved in Texacoin and Iskander, still am. But at the end of the day, this is a project that is kind of like I like to get my teeth into because I've seen a lot of things over the years and the sands shift, and it starts off really, really good. And, through a lot of nebulousness and things like that and esoteric things that you can't control, sometimes things just change. And it's like, okay, well, that was good while it lasted. What I love about this is that this is a project that's based on physical infrastructure. It's not going away. What we're doing here with Voltage Nexus, and I'm going to get into it with you guys, is really riding a trend that is never going to go away, that is only growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're at the ground floor of this opportunity here in the United States. In China, this opportunity is already crushing it. And you're going to hear a little bit about that as we go through this presentation, right? And I'm going to be really candid with you guys. About my feelings about everything. And I've done my due diligence. I've kicked the tires. And everything in this project just to me reeks of a solid business venture that could be good for anybody just starting out, where they go, I just don't have a lot of money, but man, I'd like to change my stars for me and my family. And you can do that with this. Mitch got he got with me after he created it and said, "Hey man, would you take a look at this for me? Look at it from the outside looking in. I've been dealing with this thing. I've been working it. I've been building the website, and I'm kind of like really close to it. And can you kind of step back and zoom back a little bit?" And so he and I started brainstorming on this thing, and we have made so many amazing updates and changes to this to make it even better than when he first imagined it. And that's kind of how projects go, right? It's not like anything. It's like the old book Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Nothing survives confrontation with the enemy, and it doesn't. And the reality is, we learn more from the things that don't work, and we can make things better, than we do from the things that do work. So that's kind of how Mitch approaches everything, and he's just got such an open mind to hear about other ideas and so forth. And through that process, it's been just getting better and better and better all the time. So Voltage Nexus, here we are, and let me get this presentation started with you guys. So here's the deal. This is about owning the infrastructure that everybody needs. This isn't something that is out there right now that goes, well, would people use this? Are they going to do it? No, no, no. In China right now, Monster, there's a company called Monster. It's not like Monster. It might be Monster Energy, but they might have stolen that from the real Monster Energy. You know how China is. But at the end of the day, it is the biggest company in China that is doing mobile battery charging kiosks. So think about this, guys. There's 907, like 375 million mobile devices in the world, in the United States, not in the world, in the United States, 375 million mobile devices. And guess what they do? They consistently run out of energy. And people are using them more and more and more. Screen time is getting more and more and more, and the batteries can't even keep up with it. So imagine going to your favorite bar, going to the bowling alley, going to your favorite restaurant, high traffic areas, and darn it, my phone is about to die and I got to leave because I got to charge it. I'm expecting a call from the kids. And no, 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 no. Wait a minute. There's this mobile battery kiosk right here, over here on the counter, 12 batteries in there. And I could just tap with my phone to pay, and I could get a mobile battery dispense that's got 3 cables on the back of it, one for USB-C, one for Lightning, and one for I can't even remember what it's called anymore, but it's kind of the older style ones with that funky little triangle on there and stuff. You can't figure out whether to plug it in upside down or the other way. But the bottom line is the battery can be dispensed. It charges your phone, $4 an hour, super simple. People start understanding, hey, when I go to this place, I can get my battery charged. I don't have to worry about running out of juice while I'm there. The restaurant gets to keep them there longer, or the bar gets to keep them there longer, which means they patronize it more. They start finding out about, the network where, hey, wait a minute, all of a sudden they got an app and it says, wait, we got a second kiosk available at this location, then a third one, then a fourth one. All of a sudden in my hometown, I got 25, 30, 50 of these available in a network that I've built and I'm getting rental revenue on. So the infrastructure that everybody needs, it's real hardware. These are actual mobile kiosks that you own, okay, with a 3-year warranty on the manufacturer, any manufacturer defects. So this thing's supported. Guys, I'm just excited about it. So anyway, sorry, there's massive demand, real world placement, multiple income streams, physical asset you own, and you can build a legacy and build a business with this, with the partner network that we're creating. So I'm sorry I get jazzed about this, but let's get on with this thing. So this is energy that builds something that lasts, right? Railroads, highways, the internet, cell networks, every one of these things were built by people who got in early and someone who owned a piece of it. And right now, the opportunity is building out here in the United States. I mean, we're at the tip of the spear here. The networks in the United States aren't even built out yet. Where I bet you in your own town right now, how many bars have you walked into, or restaurants that you've walked into, or bowling alleys that you've walked into, and you go, oh, that's really cool. They got a mobile charging station there where I could just rent a kiosk, go bowl, and my phone's charging right there while I'm bowling, or I'm at the bar, or I'm in a restaurant, and I could charge my phone. The answer is probably haven't seen that yet. But in China, Monster did last year alone 1.6 million rentals. 1.6 million is not the revenue. Think about $4 per hour for the rentals, and you're talking about something that's approaching $1 billion in revenue just from rentals of batteries through mobile kiosks. So imagine getting into that business, into the infrastructure that was railroads, highways, internet, cellular networks, and now portable power. That is what we're talking about here. We're talking about a massive industry that is already blowing up in China and other parts of the world. And as with normal things with the United States, we run behind on everything. And that's the same thing that's going on here. And understand this, is there competition here in the United States? Yeah, there's some competition, not much. But at the end of the day, it's where you plant your flag. Imagine going into a bar or a restaurant and you talk to them and you go, hey, we could put this in here for free. Wait a minute, what? It's free? Yeah, we put it in here for free. So your customers can stay longer. So your customers can go to your place instead of the competition. And that's no cost to you whatsoever. And they're like, wait a minute. Yeah, you don't have the liability anymore of your bartenders asking, or a customer asking, hey man, can you charge my phone? And then you run the risk of blowing their phone up or something happens. Those risks are over. They don't have to think about that at all. They have a mobile kiosk right there from Voltage Nexus. And let me tell you, when you plant your flag, imagine the competition coming in behind you going, oh, I see you have a mobile kiosk there. Why don't you use mine? They'll go, why would I use yours? This one works fine. It's free. I'm happy. So who plants the flag first is going to get the win. And so that's why we're building this network. And it's so exciting that we've created a partner network. Mitchell has a partner network, but you can build a team kind of like an insurance agency. You can build a team and you can be rewarded not only from your personal production, but you can be rewarded from your team as well. So let's go on here. So this is an industry, guys. I'm just going to move my window here because this thing always gets in the way of everything I do. My goodness, Zoom has the biggest bars I've ever seen. You guys ever seen that? Anyway, having said that, the demand's already here. The markets are proven. I already talked about overseas. 91% of US adults already own a smartphone, guys. 9.6 million power banks are in China with one operator. One operator. Okay. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. 10 million plus rentals a year. Okay. In one Asian network called ChargeSpot. And there's 14% growth year over year towards 21 billion by the year 2030. We're talking airports, hotels, stadiums, restaurants. I know Mitchell told me about his brother who went to an event recently, a concert. Can't remember who the famous person was, but it was a big concert. And at one end of the arena and at the other end of the arena, they had power banks there from another company that had 100 batteries in them. And he said he went to the one. The line was so long at each of the battery rental places that it was taking people, and each person would rent one. And then he said he was standing behind the guy, and the guy got up there, and the last battery had been rented, and he was not a happy camper. So at the end of the day, I mean, I was talking to one of the companies in the United States recently doing some due diligence, and like venues like the Miami Arena, they don't even have anything right now. So this is wide open and the market is absolutely massive. So let's talk about that. So this is real hardware, real utility, real business. So that's what I was kind of trying to talk about before. You get involved in some things that, sometimes they're multi-level marketing, network marketing, whatever it happens to be. The comp plan's great. All of a sudden it's not great. Things happen. And it's nothing to do except the fact that this is a physical project. I own a kiosk. It's mine. I place it where I want to. It generates revenue. I get paid from both the rental revenue and the advertising revenue. Because if you notice right here, the mellow mushroom up here, we have a LED display, high definition, on top of these kiosks that run 11 different ads, 8 seconds each. Three of those ads are taken up right away. One of them is with the actual kiosk rental. So on that, we'll have a rental where the QR code, where the customer can come up there, and every third ad is that when they can scan that QR code and they can rent their battery, take it out of the kiosk, and they can charge their phone with it. The other one is for you, because here's what's going to happen. When you start getting in these venues and they have high traffic, you got to understand there's people who own businesses that come in there and they go, hey, this is cool. How the heck can I get one of these at my business? Or, hey, I could use a side hustle. How can I get involved in getting into the kiosk business? So you'll have your own ad that runs on there where people can get in touch with you with your phone number, with your email address, and they can contact you directly to get into the business or to place them at one of their own venues. And so that is really cool. And then the third ad is for the venue itself. So not only did this venue get a free kiosk there with all the benefits that I've already talked about, okay, but not only that, they get an ad that runs on there as well that basically they can promote their happy hour. They can do whatever they want as far as that goes, which basically leaves 8 ads left to sell with revenue. Then you get a choice, you get a participation in that revenue, you get a participation in that kiosk rental revenue. So this is a real business, guys. And we're starting off with the 12 battery pack, but we're going to have kiosks, guys, that go all the way up to 96 kiosks. So we'll have 12, 24, 48, and 96, where those can be placed at larger venues, which have more need for rentals, i.e., a baseball stadium. Perfect. A basketball stadium. Perfect. Why? There's 80 home games. With 80 home games, you got a ton of people coming. Plus, you've got events, concerts, etc. That's where you might want to place a 96 unit kiosk or something like that at each end of the arena. So you'll be there when those events happen and stuff like that. So this is an exciting opportunity. You guys, you don't have to recruit a team. You can literally get involved in the project without even buying a kiosk. And we're going to talk about that because we've got everything covered here. So this is, again, real hardware, real utility, a real business model. So how does your kiosk make money? And we've talked about this already a little bit. I kind of get ahead of myself, so please forgive me on this. First thing is rentals, and I'll start with rentals. We probably got to reverse these, but the income from this that we're projecting at this point literally is only from rentals, from data that's available in the market. And the numbers that we're using are actually lower than the data that is in the marketplace for battery rentals and what we can do with a kiosk. But notwithstanding that, we would rather err on the side of conservativeness. But it comes down to placement of these and where you place them. So you earn money from rentals. You get a 40% share of the rental revenue. That's on your direct rentals. So you go to a venue, you place a unit there, you're going to get 40% of the rental revenue and 40% of the advertising revenue that comes in from there. But we're going to talk about how you can grow a team and how you can actually participate from building a partner network as well, which is absolutely taking it to the next level. So again, you get it on the ad spend, you get it on the rentals as well. And this project, Mitchell's already got a team that is working and will build out the advertising network. for the rentals on the kiosks. So you can get ads yourself from customers and get revenue on that, or we can generate revenue uh, from ads. We can generate ads and then you generate revenue from that, where we place the ads on your kiosks in your network. So, so many exciting things to talk about here. And plus, they're kind of cute, aren't they? I love them, man. It's really great. So, what does a single kiosk do? Well, the projected revenue, again, conservatively on a kiosk is about $650 a month in gross rental revenue, anywhere from $400 to $900. We've got documentation that you can take a look at that we can provide to you that kind of is third party, nothing to do with us, of an analysis on the marketplace. And the rental revenue that we're projecting is lower than that. But, at the end of the day, look, it's about the low hanging fruit. It's about picking venues that work. Like Mitchell said, the only income guarantee that we can make to you, the only one, is that you will make absolutely zero income if you don't place a kiosk in a venue. If it sits in your closet, you're guaranteed to make zero. So that's the only income claim we can make. But the people that are getting involved in the project aren't interested, obviously, in just letting it sit in their closet. They have venues, they want to build a network, and you get 40%. So your share is about $260 a month at $650 in revenue. Taking about what, 4 months? The kiosks are about $1,200. Not about, they are $1,200, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. So there's like a 4 month kiosk on repayment of that. So you have three income streams all tied to real kiosks. We've talked about this already. So own and deploy your own kiosks, and you're basically getting 40% share of the rental revenue. Then you've got selling a kiosk, which we haven't talked about yet, but assuming you sell a kiosk, so let's say you have somebody that they want to get involved in the business and say, I want to be a partner. I want to do this. I like what I'm seeing here. And they go ahead and buy three kiosks. Well, the bottom line is you just made $450. So you get $150 on every kiosk that you personally sell. Let's go back to that bar that I was talking about. All of a sudden you place a kiosk in a bar and a business owner comes in there. He happens to see your kiosk there in the bar and he sees your contact information on the screen and goes, I want to contact that person and find out, how can I get one of these in my venue? Absolutely fantastic. You can sell them a kiosk directly, or you can place one there for free, depending on the size of the venue. There may be venues, for example, some guy might come in there that's got a barbershop. And he goes, man, I think this would be great for my barbershop. I'd love to put it in here. Well, that might not be a high traffic venue where you want to go ahead and say, I'm going to buy a kiosk and place it there, but you could certainly sell one to him and they have that and they make 40% of all the revenue in there. But guess what? As a partner, we're going to get into this. You make revenue on all of the rentals and the advertising that comes in from those kiosks on top of that. So you made $150 selling them a kiosk. If it's a great venue, you can place the kiosk. So the bottom line is your network is going to grow organically. So that is about selling the kiosk. And last is helping others to deploy, as we talked about. And so you can make revenue on your partners that are getting involved in the project. So there's three ways to grow. Again, adding more kiosks means more revenue. So we're going to talk about a really exciting thing in a minute about how you can get involved in this. How can you ratchet up and scale the number of kiosks you have deployed a lot faster than when we first started this thing? It's really, really, really exciting. Again, expanding to more locations. Here's what's cool about this, guys. This isn't about just being in your own town. If you know a business owner who owns a bunch of bars, Mitchell's got somebody who owns, I don't know, a large number of bars across the country, and he's working with that person and that owner to place these in their bars across the country. That's easy enough. You just have the kiosk drop ship there. Their people open up the box, they deploy it. Easy enough. They put the batteries in it, plug it in, and voila, you've got a location up and running, and that might be in a completely different state. And that is absolutely really cool. And then again, the third thing is building a team. Hey, I know I can build a team. I've done that. I've been in, again, Texacoin and stuff like that, where I had 42 people that I personally sponsored that believed in it and wanted to build a team. And I helped them do that. And you'll get rewarded for doing that. So really, really cool. So again, real ownership, built to last, advertising on top, and this is a community-owned project. It's ground floor, and I'm really excited about the project. So every kiosk builds something bigger, and this is really cool. It's really important to Mitchell as a personal thing. But look, he was telling me a story of, I think it was his town where he lives in, where the sheriff's department was going around to local churches and going and saying and asking them if they would be willing to put an antenna that they had up in their steeple. Why were they doing that? What they're trying to do is build out a network of communication within that town that survives something like an EMP, something like the internet crashes, and communication somehow gets to where there's a huge problem with communication for for first responders, et cetera. Well, it's not our business model necessarily, primarily. It's not a money maker today. But at the end of the day, this kiosk does double duty. Mitch has basically built into this what they call mesh-tastic and low-ray. And essentially what that does is each kiosk that's placed creates a mesh-tastic network, which is essentially the same thing as putting those antennas in church steeples, to where we could literally go to a town and say, look, we've got 250 kiosks deployed around this town, and you can take advantage of that mesh-tastic network for communication if something happens with first responders. So it's a secondary benefit that is really, really cool for building a community and building a network of communications within that community. And each kiosk that's placed makes the network stronger and more secure. So it's decentralized. There's not, one anybody controlling that network. It's the entire network. And so built into these kiosks is that functionality, which is a really feel good thing. And I know that was close to Mitchell's heart. So anyway, that is, I think, I don't know, that's a really feel good thing, and I absolutely love it. So you place them, we handle it. So you might say, okay, I really like this thing. This sounds great. What do I have to do? It's very simple. Buy a kiosk, place the kiosk, and pretty much walk away. You have a 3-year warranty on the manufacturer's defects on the kiosk. Check that box. We handle all of the customer service from the client as well as from your customers. Okay. Obviously, the client ones, they'll probably call you if there's something going on because you have that relationship. All your customer service guys is all handled 100%. Well, what happens when somebody walks off with the battery and now I had 12, but now I only got 10, or now I only got 6 left? We handle that too. All the batteries are replaced by us. So you don't even have to worry about it. When your kiosk gets down, we have a signal where we can track your kiosk. When it gets down to a certain level, a new batch of batteries arrives to you, or you can have it arrive to your venue, and your venue simply opens the box and just puts them back in. We handle all of that stuff. We charge the customer who didn't return the battery. We handle the shipping. We handle all of that stuff. So you don't have to do anything. Literally, this is just about, I know somebody, I can place a kiosk in a really great venue, and I start making rental revenue, and I start making advertising revenue, and I just start deploying more kiosks. And the business, guys, is really as simple as that. It's nothing more complicated. I don't know how much easier this thing gets than just doing that. I mean, the hardest thing that you have to do is simply meet with a venue, give them something for free that keeps their customers there longer buying from them, or the customer gets used to the fact that they could go to their venue because they know that there's a charging station there that they can rely on that's going to be there, and they start choosing that customer over their competitor because they know they have a charging station there. That is literally, how powerful is that? I mean, you don't have to sell anything. It's like, how many of these can you give away in prime locations, which is what you're looking for? I mean, guys, I don't know how much easier it could get than that. Mitchell and I bought one kiosk just to try it, and it was like an immediate yes from the bar that I talked to. Did I know them? Yes, I had a relationship with them, but that doesn't mean anything because they go, this is a no-brainer. Why wouldn't I do this? And that's really that's pretty much the response that everybody we've talked to are getting with this. So you buy a kiosk, you place it. It really is a business that is that simple. And then you've got a 3-year warranty to back everything up, guys. I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that. So owning your first kiosk, how do I do it? Well, you go to voltagenexus.com. and you basically sign up and you buy a kiosk. Now the kiosks are $1,200 each. Okay. You buy a kiosk or you buy two kiosks, and then they come to you in the mail and you place them. And the only thing you have to do in setting it up, because I said to Mitchell, okay, what's involved with setting up? How much training is there and everything? Mitchell goes, here's the training, Jim. Open the box, set it on the counter, and plug it in. And I was like, stop. No, it's really that simple, guys. A power supply with a regular plug, you plug it in, it's already configured, and it's ready to start generating revenue for you. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. And we've got all kinds of marketing stuff we're building out. We already have a flyer for venues that you can bring with you to give a venue that talks about all the benefits to the venue, all that kind of stuff. On the website, you can create your own Voltage Nexus business card, front, back, and then get that printed locally for yourself. You could put a QR code on that so when it's scanned, it contacts you. We've got all the tools and we're building that out as we speak. Make no mistake, yes, this is a startup. We're just getting going. But guys, we're dealing with the biggest manufacturer that's manufacturing for Monster, the biggest company that's doing this in China. So you have the top manufacturer in the world making these kiosks, and they've already got the SIM cards in them. We've built them for Meshtastic and Low-Ray. I mean, guys, it's like a turnkey thing that doesn't get much easier. So 1,200 bucks. There's 12 power banks in one kiosk right now. That's where we're starting with. Okay, we have the technology, all the processing's in place. We have Stripe integration. So when somebody scans the QR code to rent the unit, it's $4 per hour. They go to the second hour, it's $8. So for every portion of every hour, it's an additional $4. The most somebody can be charged if they used it, they left it in their purse, they went home, they didn't return it the next day. After 48 hours, they'll get hit with a battery charge. So the max they can be charged is 50 bucks. And again, we replace the battery. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, it's literally that simple. This is a business where if you have 25 kiosks around town, you own every one of them. You're in charge of where they go. If there's a venue that's not performing for you, you go in, you unplug it, and you take it out, and you just move it to the other venue that you want to be at. This is something you completely control, and it's in your hands. And that gets me super excited. But now I'm going to get really excited because we had this before, and I went to Mitchell and I said, "Hey, Mitchell, let me ask you a question. Somebody buys one kiosk for 1,200 bucks. They spend 1,200 bucks. Okay, that's great. What if somebody really wants to build something? Well, Mitchell, what if we had financing?" He's like, "Wait a minute, what?" And I go, "Yeah, what if we had financing?" And so we went down that rabbit hole, guys, and we contracted with one of the biggest companies in the world doing financing, and it's a firm. You could find a firm on Amazon. You could find it on Shopify. You could find it on so many different platforms. A firm is huge. And now the next slide that gets me so excited, and that is, hey, look, you could choose. Let's say you're somebody who says, I can do this. I want to place some kiosks out there. I have 1,200 bucks, and now I go, wait, would I rather spend $1,200 for one kiosk, go place that, make $260 a month. If it makes $650 in rental revenue, that's great. That's an awesome business model. And in 4 to 5 months, you pay it off, and then you could do that again, and that's cool. But what if instead of that, hey, I've got decent credit. Why don't I go ahead and if you buy 3 kiosks or more on the Voltage Nexus site, we call that a 3-pack or a 4-pack or a 5-pack, and you bought 3 kiosks for $3,600, guys, you have no out-of-pocket expense and your monthly payments. This is an actual offer that was offered to one of our partners who basically went on a firm and said, I'd like to finance 3 kiosks. And this is what it offered them. They had decent credit. It offered them 3 options. Okay, 0 interest, $600 a month for 6 months on 3 kiosks, guys. Okay, $300 a month for 12 months. Again, 0 interest, 3 kiosks, or hey, with interest over 36 months, your payment's only $126.55 a month. Think about the power of that. You literally could get three kiosks for only 126 bucks instead of one kiosk for 1,200 bucks. And like Mitchell said, if you apply the rental income, the 260 times three, 260 times three, $780 a month, if you apply that towards your outstanding balance, guys, in 4 months or 5 months, you've paid off those three kiosks, paid them off with hardly any interest because it was early payoff, stops all the interest. And you could now do that again with six kiosks. And now you could do it the next time with 12 kiosks. And you can scale a business leveraging the financing that we've now got in place for you. And that to me, guys, let somebody, it's like when you ask a rich person, what's the best way to grow their wealth? It's called other people's money. So if you can leverage 0% interest, or you can leverage very low payments, and you know that you're not going to bring it out 36 months, but your payments are based on that, and you get to generate the income from that, full income against that, and you could pay that off in 4 to 5 months and hardly have any interest at all that you paid. And then you could do that again and again and again. Think about how fast you could build your network. Think about how your partners that you bring on board, who you help get involved in their own business, could grow their network. So right now that's live on the voltagenexus.com website. When you go ahead and join, and the only other fee, guys, on top of the monthly payment on that, or if in the case of you paying cash for one, is every kiosk is $5 a month. And the $5 a month pays for your SIM card and those things because we have a cost in the SIM card, and literally we're breaking even on that. So literally the only cost you have is $5 a month. So you're making $260 a month. So you're making $255 a month after you pay the cost of that of the $5. So it's $5 per kiosk. And once again, like Mitchell says, the only thing we can guarantee you is an income. If you have this and you put it in your closet and you don't deploy it, you will be billed $5 a month and you will make no revenue. So let that not happen to you. It shouldn't be a big deal. But again, you just deploy a kiosk and it's $5 a month. So guys, I tell you, I don't know how many opportunities you can get involved in where you can get involved in this and you can get financing and we can help you build your network. We've got the marketing, we've got everything for you to actually build a really, really viable network. And to me, that is super exciting. I've kind of reached the end, but I want to share something with you guys too. So let me stop my share here and let me share another screen with you guys. Bear with me. Let's see here. That's what I want to share. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So guys, if you go to the next Voltage Nexus website right now, um, you will see it's builder.voltagenexus.com. But if you go to the Voltage Nexus website, you log in, the income calculator is there. And so this kind of gives you guys an idea. You don't have to believe us. You're going to grow at your own pace at what you want to do, right? But what we're doing here is you can say to yourself, okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to be somebody who just wants to come in here, which is not a problem? Hey, I want to buy three kiosks. They got that cool three pack, and I'm not going to be a builder. That's just not who I am. I want to buy three kiosks. I want to place them in the venue. Guys, if you just did that, you're making $780 a month. If you pay your kiosks off, guys, and that's three kiosks right there. So if you took $3,600 divided by 780, you're paying your kiosks off, guys, in 4.6 months. What does that mean? Well, that means after that, $780 a month is pure profit to you. Having said that, that doesn't even include the advertising revenue. In this calculator, we didn't include advertising revenue. So the advertising revenue, how that works is we place the ads or you place the ads. There's a 15% ad commission. So if we place the ad, we have to pay to get that placed, 15%, leaving 85%. We split that with you, the same 40%. So you get 40% on ad placements, guys, and you can put your own ads in there if you want to as well. This only contemplates that. But let's take this to the next level. Say, okay, you know what? I could do this. I'm going to go ahead and place 369. I'm going to place 12 kiosks myself because I know I can. It's super simple. 12 kiosks is like a no-brainer. Not only does that bring my income, if I do nothing else, it brings my income up to $36,000 a year. I pay my kiosks off in 4.6 months, and now I'm making $36,000 a year doing nothing. Let's go down here and show you what that looks like over 5 years, guys, because all this does is takes your year one and it says you placed 12 kiosks. Well, what happens after that? You're going to have organic growth, guys, year over year organic growth. I told you if you place it in a bar and somebody walks in and they own a bar, or they own a restaurant, they own a bowling alley, or they own a business, and or they want to be a person who wants to be a partner. How can I get involved in this thing? And they contact you. The bottom line is you can project your own growth rate here. This just shows 20% growth year over year. And so that 37,000 in year two becomes 44,000, 53,000, 60. By year five, you're making $77,000 a year from those same 12 kiosks with nothing else happening except the organic growth that came from them. So yes, 12 kiosks grew by 20%. Okay. And then that grew by 20%. And after year five, you're making a lot of money. And that's just with your personal production. Let's take this to the next level. Let's say you're kind of like me a little bit. And you go, no. I can find 10 people out there that kind of want to build this too, and they want 3 kiosks for themselves. And guess what? On your partner network, guys, you're earning 12%. So you get 40% of the revenue on your own kiosks on the ad spend and the rentals. You get another 12% on your partners that you got involved in the project on all the kiosks that they're building as well. So guys, this is absolutely huge. If you do that, you're looking at, again, $5,400 a month in revenue to you. You're talking about $70,000 a year for placing 12 kiosks yourselves and getting 10 people in who place 3. I mean, it's not like a big ask. It's not like a tall order. There's no competition out there. You're giving away free kiosks, guys. It's a great business model. And now you can see how over 20% year over year, over 5 years, guys, you've made almost $500,000 with this business that's about kiosks. And you can play with this calculator in the back office. So once you join and you go into your back office, you'll see this calculator directly, and you can play with this to achieve your own results. You may say, hey, I know I can place 25 of these. I know I can get 20 people doing this, and you can create your own income opportunity by just playing with the calculator, because it's all about what you want and what you can do. So I'm going to stop my share. Let me go back here and bring you back to this right here. And look, guys, I'm just going to end with this. And again, I've said it all the way through the presentation. I'll say it again. Look, we're not telling you that this is going to happen. We cannot guarantee you any income. We cannot know what you're going to do with anything. You may place them at a venue initially, and your income from the unit is not $650 a month, and then you move it to a venue where it's more than that. So the reality is, look, we're not guaranteeing any income. We can't do that. What we can guarantee you is that you're going to get a kiosk that has state-of-the-art technology that costs $1,200. You can finance them. You're going to get $150 on every one that you sell personally. So as you bring partners on, you sell kiosks to different venues, because you might run into a venue, a busy bar, and they go, I love the idea, but how can I make money from this? And you go, no problem. So instead of that becoming one you just place there and get 40% of the revenue off of that, now you make $150 selling them the kiosk, and they become one of your tier one partners. And now you're making 12% of all the revenue that comes in on the ads and the rentals from that venue, and that venue now owns the kiosk. So that's a really cool thing. You could take it one way or the other. But again, you can place them there and you get 40% of the revenue, and you could give that thing away for free. And if the bar doesn't want to own it, not a problem. So again, there's so many different ways that this can go. We just want to stress that, this is an income opportunity for you. We can't guarantee anything to you, but we have a warranty that's 3 years. It's the best that money can buy as far as the manufacturer and the kiosk itself. You have all the customer support taken care of for you. You have all of the payment gateways taken care of for you. You don't have to worry about anything. All the kiosk rentals go through our Stripe platform. Any partner that wants to come on board uses your referral code, and they can buy directly through our platform. They can pay cash through our Stripe integration. They can finance through a firm. And guys, here's the cool thing: if they finance 3 kiosks, you just made $450. That's what I'm saying. They finance 3 kiosks, they get approved. You saw the finance, it could be as low as $120 to $150 a month. They buy 3 kiosks, you just made $450, plus you make 12% on all the rental revenue and all the advertising revenue. So can we guarantee anything? No, and we're never going to. But this is what we can guarantee. And I got to be honest with you guys, we are super, super excited about this. So that's pretty much everything. I took about 40 minutes tonight, maybe ran a little bit long. Mitchell, is there Q&A on this? And do we want to open this up for any Q&A, or as a webinar, we don't really get to do that?
Yeah, there's Q&A open at the bottom. Great job, Jim. If you have any questions, you
I
can
appreciate it, man. I get it.
feel free to click the
Okay, I
box
got
at
the
the bottom.
Q&A open. And Lou says, great to see it's great to see you too, Lou. You too, my friend. I know I owe you a call, by the way. Call me tomorrow. You got my phone number, so call me tomorrow. I know you want to talk about this because you hit me up. So if anybody else has any questions, put them in the Q&A, and we'll answer them. But if not, then I bid you guys adieu. We will do this next Wednesday. Bring anybody you want to hear about this. And next Tuesday at 2 p.m., same link, Mitchell does an amazing training session. I think this week we had 11 or 12 people on that, or last week we did. So this is just getting going, guys. It's early days, and we're super, super excited about it. So I will sign off for tonight. Any questions you have, please reach out to Mitchell. You can reach out to me directly as well. We have a Facebook community that's growing strong, and you could go there and join the community and see posts there and talk to us. So we'd love to see you there too. But super excited, guys. This is ground floor in a huge market. Have a blessed night, and we will talk to you next week.